You're listening to the Dragon Between podcast, a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons campaign set in the Eberron pulp fantasy setting created by Keith Baker. New episodes are recorded every Sunday and released on the following week. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel for clips and future episodes. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter for updates and news on the podcast. And now on with the show! When we last met, the characters continued their rest at Orion Tower, and were reunited with their bardic ally. Siegfried then presented Zara with her stolen items. Suspicious of Agent Blackwater's intentions, the items were inspected, and it was discovered that a small arcane listening device had been attached to her necklace. After bringing Siegfried up to speed on current events, the High Wizard presented a box to the group containing the copies that Nicholas had requested. Nicholas then handed one of them to Samael for safekeeping. After more conversation, a suspicious Samael revealed to the group that he had tested the stone and revealed it to be a fake. A heated exchange ensued, and a clear divide began to form among the members of the group. The real stone was then presented, and it was discovered that the Stone of Galore, aka Roger, could grant powers to the willing. Nicholas then attuned to the item, and the group learned that the location of the treasure hoard far beneath Classic Theater in Memphis Plateau. The stone also revealed that the vault door required 3 unique keys. The party then began the process of gathering the keys and decided to return to the manor via Mr. R's sky-carriage. During their ride back to the cliffside, however, the party spotted a fleet of airships stalking them in the mists above Sharn. The sky-carriage was suddenly and viciously rocked by a bolt of lightning, destroying it utterly, and sending the group flying into the obscured air. The group members each experienced a harrowing aerial ordeal before reunited in Middle Dura Ward. The characters then began a hasty retreat into the sewers below the Bazaar District, minus Zito and Samael. The group then used a detect magic spell to ascertain if they were still compromised and found another tracking device in Siegfried's pack. The group were then treated to a program message from Agent Blackwater, revealing her allegiance to the cult of the Spiral, and something called the White Worm, just as Byron destroyed the stone.
Well, we need to get moving.
I'll follow you.
I started leaning down away down the sewer.
I follow as well.
Well, I also follow.
Brunhild takes up the rear, pulling out her maul and looking around. And in the other hand, she is holding the stuffed unicorn. And she whispers to it gently, "Don't worry, I'll protect you."
So do we have everything we need, Nick?
I'm pretty sure. We still haven't contacted Zito and Samael yet. I don't know where they are.
Any idea? Did anyone see them at all?
No, I'm pretty sure we saw the sketchy people in all the cloaks and decided just to run away down here. So they're probably up there somewhere, and I hope alive? Maybe?
Can anyone get them on the ring?
When we were trying earlier, they didn't respond. Who wants to try again? I know mine's kind of not in the best.
Zito, come in. Zito.
The amber light from your ring illuminates the arcing sewer tunnel, giving you some light beyond your dark vision. The pale grays that you see of the liquid that you're treading through, this ankle-deep liquid. And there is a bit of a humming, distorting sound now coming from your ring. Sort of a buzzing noise.
What? Do you hear it? Is it coming from everyone's ring or just mine?
It is just coming from your ring.
Ah. Oh, I'm getting buzzing sound, guys. I hope they're okay.
You got anything, Sigrid, or
Uh,
Laura?
I don't. My ring's also cracked, so wouldn't be much better than your all.
Well, we've got to get moving.
Well, we're still walking down the tunnels of the sewer.
As you come to a junction, Byron, you know that the sewers within Sharn, because of the nature of the multiple towers, they have junctions where there are shafts towards the edges of the towers, even within the sewer, that drop down hundreds of feet to take you to the next level of the ward that you're in. And after several minutes trudging through this ankle-deep water, you find yourselves at a massive expanse and a metal ladder which plunges down into the depths, into the dark.
So we want to go up or down?
We go back to the surface. Do you think
We're
they
gonna
should
find
follow
Zeno.
enough? Yeah, we're gonna find Zito.
Any idea of a good disguise or something we can, I don't know.
I don't really need a disguise, but
I have a disguise, but I only can use it on myself.
I also have disguises that I can use.
Brunhild
A
calls out
disguise kit, in fact.
from behind you, several feet behind you. Brunhild calls out, "Hey, were we supposed to meet back at the manor? Maybe that's where they're gonna go."
That's not a
well,
bad
the
idea.
manor's going to be watched, so
Yes, that's my only concern.
Well, I mean, let's put it this: it's Samael and Zito. I'm pretty sure they would just run into it, so we can not go and they get ambushed, or we can all go and get ambushed but be together as a team. I guess that's our option.
Or how about this? How about you guys? We go to a sewer nearby. I will disguise myself as a cultist. I will walk over to and walk in and find hopefully Zito and Samael at the manor, and bring them back out. Act like I captured them to a nearby sewer where we'll all meet and we'll run around. We'll run away.
I'm usually the one with the better performances, but it's your plan, Nick. So I'll let you do what
Well, do you have a disguise self, Siegfried?
I have an disguise kit just for these occasions.
why
Because
don't the both of you go in?
let's do that. Let's both of us go.
And I'll watch
Yes.
from the shadows, and you two.
Yes,
Is it
I'll
just-
stay here.
And
I
worst
will
comes to
let-
worst, we can charm them.
And you do all the talking. I will shut up. You definitely talk better than me.
You're not too bad. Plus, if worst comes to worst, I have charm person. So
I'm
Alright,
gonna.
then I'm- Yes.
Brunhild yells from behind you all. "I'm gonna protect this unicorn stuffy that I got until somebody tells me to hit something with my maul."
Okay.
Okay.
I'll stay down here with Brunhild.
Well, you two can come up and just stay in the shadows. It's nighttime down here, or is it?
It's completely pitch black down here. So right now, everyone is talking to nothing because they can't see you.
Maybe
It's-
we better get
all-
some light at least.
All they see is the splish splash as you walk through the ankle deep water. Every so often, they see a splash as another foot goes into the water.
Okay. Well, on the ground above, is it nighttime when we got shot down, or
Currently, it's about midday.
okay? Do you think Sam would walk in the middle? Yeah, he would walk in the middle of daylight, just walk in. Dumb question.
All right. I think we have a plan. Byron, if you would watch me and Siegfried from the shadow. Lead us
That's
to the
fine.
lead us to the closest sewer junction to the manor.
About how far away is that sewer junction that's on the map to the manor?
If you're referring to the entry point that's within Troll Skull Alley, you figure that it'll take you approximately an hour and a half to navigate through the sewers, descending down into the lower ward, and then transferring over through the sewers into the cliffside area. There is also a very slight obscuring within the tunnels that you've noticed. It seems to be emanating within this central shaft that's raising up that at this junction that you're standing at now, and it almost appears to be similar to the mist which has been gripping the city. Almost seems like this mist is also seeping into the sewers.
Okay. You want to go above and try to take a cab there, or do you want to spend the next couple hours in this?
I believe if we go above the surface, we will be seen pretty quickly. I think we're better off staying down here. I don't think the cultists really know their way around like you do.
I agree.
All right. We'll travel on through the sewer.
Brunhild lets out a hearty passing of gas and says, "I'll follow you guys. Sorry about that. My breakfast isn't agreeing with me."
Surprisingly, it doesn't smell at all.
Well, smelling aside, I wouldn't count that none of the cultists know the sewers. If anything, they'd send the cultists after us that did know the sewers. So I wouldn't say down here's too safe, but should be safe enough first to get our shit done and move on.
I agree. Well, let's keep moving. We don't know if they already captured them, so we've got to be hasty.
All right, so we'll move on and travel the hour and a half to 2 hours that we need.
Okay. So descending down the shaft, hundreds of feet, what feels like forever. Your arms and your legs are sore, your muscles are sore from descending the ladder. And you get to the bottom, the lower Dura section of the sewer system, and follow the junction off to the west towards through the retaining wall, passing through a large aperture, and you find yourselves entering into the main part of the cliffside sewer system, which is a bit older, and the stonework is not quite the same. It appears to be an afterthought, and in places it's very similar, and you remember from your time over a month ago when you descended into the sewers in Cliffside, and you found Floon down in the sewers, and you found that hideout. But a good hour and a half goes by, and you're able to find yourselves back in the familiar, just below that familiar junction, a sewer grate. Who goes up first to look?
Byron, you're the stealthiest of all of us. Go take a look.
Alright, I'll go up. We're outside the furniture shop, correct?
Yes, it's just down to the eastern part of the alleyway leading up to the square where the manor is located. And the underside of the sewer grating, this manhole cover, you can see with your dark vision this outline of the seal, the familiar seal of the city of Sharn.
Alright, I'll climb up and I'll just lift the lid up about a half inch to an inch and then just scan it.
Okay. Looking out into the district, looking down the street, you can see off in the distance, you can see a few people milling about. You can see a couple of carts drawn by horses that are passing through the district.
Do I think I can open up the lid and get out with not too many people?
You can make a stealth check. With disadvantage, it is a heavy lid.
Okay.
Okay.
13.
13. As you lift off the lid, there is a slight metal on stone sound. You thought that you were being very careful, but there's a momentary clink as the metal hits the stone, and you push the lid aside. And with a cursory glance looking about, you see the familiar denizens of Troll Skull Alley going about their business. And off in the distance, you see a few of the watch that are currently strolling up and down the alleys. They don't look in your direction, though.
I see any of the red robes or anyone that looks like a...
Make a perception check. You do not see anyone that appears to be wearing that type of garb. You don't see the off-white burlap robes or the crimson-colored robes that you have been accustomed to seeing.
Is there any place I can move to be partially obscured that I can...
You see often just off in the a few yards away from the manhole cover opening, you can see the shadows as the sun is cresting in the sky. You can see the shadows from the building, and you're fairly certain that you can move over to those shadows pretty quickly.
Alright, you two get your disguises on and come on up. I'm gonna move over and get a observation.
Siegfried, you ready? Guys, yourself.
Can I move out?
Let's do this. I open my kit and pull a few things out and even pull some dye to weave through my hair to offset its color a bit.
You have the red cloak still?
Yeah, I think we got a red cloak wearing around. If not, I got enough in this little kit here to do what we need to do, my friend.
Alright.
Brunhild, standing at the bottom with Zara, says "Hey, y'all need any help up there?"
Shh. Brunhild.
Just silent.
Okay. Jeez.
We have to be stealthy, otherwise, well...
I don't know about y'all, but I like people to see me when I'm bashing them in the face with my maul.
Well, if anyone gets close by here, I'll let you have that opportunity.
Hey, that rhymed.
Did it though?
Oh, by the way, we
Alright,
gotta
move
make
over
sure...
and I'll go.
Hey, if y'all see Istrid, make sure you get that song from her, alright? The sound from Brunhild is now echoing up the shaft up to the surface of the alleyway.
Hey, Brunhild. Let's play a game.
Okay, I like games.
So, the game is who can stay quiet the longest.
Okay.
And whoever wins gets to use my let's see, what do I have? Well, you can use my halberd to target something later. Well, or I get to use your weapon. But later,
Oh,
not now.
trade weapons? I can totally do that. I dig that.
For a day.
I'll hold you to it. All right, being quiet, starting now.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to my.
You ready?
Yeah, let's do this, Nick.
I'm gonna cast Disguise Self. I'm looking at cultists to climb up.
I'm going to finish dyeing my hair with a bit of coal to make it look brown streaked and pull the cloak over me, and I'm gonna fall.
So,
Before
sorry,
before
I was
I
gonna.
move,
Go ahead.
before I move, I'll cast Disguise Self, the Stalker ability, and I'll disguise myself as one of the commoners that I've seen, and then move over to the position to observe.
Okay. And Siegfried, you're wearing a red robe, correct?
Yes.
And Nicholas, how did you wish to disguise yourself? Also as a red robed cultist?
Yes, with the hat and everything.
Okay. I got you.
Yeah. From what I've seen, that's
So how do you all wish to approach the manor?
Siegfried, do you just want to walk right up to it as cultist?
You know what? That's the best we can do. Stealthing in isn't gonna do anything for us.
We'll walk straight in the front door. Put my head down, act like a cultist, and walk in unison with Siegfried. Right to the front door.
Okay.
Hang out by the tree in front of the manor.
All right. So as you all get closer, Siegfried, you notice that the mural that was on the southern wall of the manor appears to have been defaced. Before, the mural depicted a halfling man standing over various monstrous races, and specifically standing over with his foot up on the chest of a monstrous race. And now it appears that the halfling man has been replaced with, the best description is a very poorly done portrait of Bryn the sorcerer in his red robe, standing over what looks like a pile of bodies that resemble the party. And he's holding a torch up over his head.
Siegfried just kind of like curses away in his brain, but doesn't say anything.
You really did a number on this place. Hopefully it's not too badly destroyed in there.
Yes, it'd make it hard to find traces of the party if everything's destroyed.
As you begin to come around the corner, you both see that the front door to the tap room is suddenly and violently thrown open, and a dwarven man strides out, holding a man by his breeches and by the back of his collar, and tosses him out into the courtyard in front of the manor and the tap room, and yells out into the midday air, "That's enough out of you. Don't want any more of your trouble. You'll stay out. Don't try to come back." And the dwarven man now turns on his heel and strides back into the tap room, the door closing behind him. And as the two of you look out into, just from the northern mouth of the alleyway, leading out of Trollskull Alley and into the street just beyond, and to the northern part that runs east to west along the northern wall of the manor. You see two familiar individuals striding quickly towards the manor. You see Zito and you see Samael, and they look like they've been through hell.
I quickly use message to communicate. We're within 120 feet, right?
Oh yes.
I use message to send him a silent message that only those two can heal separately, and I say, "Hey, it's Siegfried. Head to the sewers. We will find you. You can whisper under your breath where no one else can hear you for your reply, just to make sure you understand. The cultists are everywhere."
I'm gonna look at Zito confused and go, what do we do?
What are you talking about, Samuel?
Did you hear that?
Zito, you heard it too. I sent one to both of you. It's a cantrip. So.
Well, if you ask me, we're already being watched. I mean, I don't think being in the sewer is gonna help.
Anyway, they said go back to towards the sewers. What sewers are they talking about?
I have no clue.
Since I did hear the response anyways, because as soon as they talked, I heard the response. I cast it again to Samuel. It's like, God damn it, just go to the sewers. At least we can regroup. We have a better chance of losing them and playing our actions to destroy them and crush them and beat them to a pulp down there than we do up here when they can just attack us before anything.
Maybe he means the sewers where Nick drank that swamp water. Well, if they're going there, I guess we should go. What do you think?
I really hate the sewers, though.
Yeah, for you guys it's ankle deep. For Zito, it's like almost waist deep. Cold sewage water on your nether regions. Zito and Samael, you're remembering from your time here in Trollskull Alley that there is an access point just south and to the east in Trollskull Alley. It's very close, actually, to where the group encountered the individuals that attacked you, the gentlemen that were on the flying green crystal hover discs.
If it gets deep, just hop on my shoulder and we'll just ride on through until we catch up with everybody.
Very well.
Alright, we are heading to the sewers.
I nod to Nick. Alright, let's go back towards this.
Alright, so let's follow behind them. So we'll make it look like the cultists are following them. Other cultists are following.
Siegfried nods and moves to...
Are you two trying to be stealthy?
Me and
Yes
Zito?
and no. Oh.
No. Well, I would say, okay, all four of you trying to be stealthy as you head back towards the manhole cover.
Yes.
Okay,
Please
then
make it.
if anyone would like to roll a stealth check, you may at this time.
I'm with Nick, so I have to.
22.
6, like a boss.
19.
Okay.
24, correction.
All right.
Nick, don't you have like a special made thing just for...
And
Yeah, I forgot about it.
of the three of you that came up out of the sewers, did any of you put the sewer cover back, or did you leave it open?
Siegfried didn't touch it.
It's open.
I didn't close it.
So as Zito and Nick, Samael walk towards the access to the sewers, you see that someone has pulled the cover off of the access point.
I think they came out of this one.
Yep, this looks like it's the one. I'm jumping in.
Zito is going to climb in after Samael, and he's going to rest on his shoulders.
Okay. As you two descend down into this access point into the sewers, you can hear someone attempting to be quiet and with hushed whisper saying, "They're back already, Sarah."
Oh, well
I'll be
done.
scanning the area, making sure that no one's fallen.
Okay, make a perception check.
And wait, Samael, don't you think we should close the lid?
Yeah, this is a good point. Give me 1 second. Here, get down next to me real quick. I'm gonna pull it shut.
Okay. You just pull it shut, Samael?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it shut. Make sure it's nice and secure.
Okay. There's a sound as you grab with your hands the metal cover, pulling it. There's a sound of metal scraping on the cobblestones and then settling into the mount for this opening into the sewer. And Byron, you heard the sound of metal faintly scraping on cobblestone in the distance. You don't notice anybody of ill repute. You don't see anyone wearing the robes of the cultists. You do see a couple of wandering individuals in the distance. One looks like possibly an off-duty watchman, and he looks like he's heading towards the manor right now, possibly to the tap room.
Did I see Siegfried and Nick go down as well or not?
You did not.
In fact, you don't see us at all.
Well, I saw your disguises when you climbed out.
Yeah, you saw them as you were following behind, and then they seemed to duck behind some boxes. And
Okay.
as they turned around, the going south seemed like they were going to possibly follow after Zito and Samael. They ducked around a corner and they were gone.
Okay, good. Then I'll start heading over to the...
Okay. And as you continue to move away, are you heading back towards them, towards the sewer access, or are you going into the manor?
I'm going to the sewer. I don't care about the manor.
Okay. As you pass by from out of the tree, are you doing so stealthily, or are you just moving?
I look like a commoner, so I'm just walking down the street.
Okay. As you walk by, this gentleman, sort of rotund watchman, sees you walking away from the tree and says, "Oh, didn't see you there. Good day." And he immediately turns on his heel and walks into the manor. And as the door opens, you can hear the sounds of raucous laughter and just people apparently having a great time within the tap room.
Good.
So after a few moments, you make your way back to the cover. Siegfried and Nicholas, are you revealing yourself at this time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So you all are now at the top of this sewer entry. Down below, Zito and Samael, you can see just off a few yards away from where the ladder leads up to the surface, you see Brunhild, who is standing holding what looks to be a small unicorn, poorly made, under one arm, and holding her maul just sort of lazily in the other hand. And Zara is sort of leaning against the edge of the sewer wall, the sloped sewer walls, with her halberd in her hand, sort of resting it, trying not to put it into the ankle-deep water.
So,
Where's everyone else?
well, they went up to look for you. They disguised themselves as cultists. Oh, dang it. Did I lose?
Haha! Hand over the halberd.
Okay, but maybe not today. Tomorrow?
Alright, but I'm gonna hold you to it.
Alright, but we still need to be pretty quiet, like, lower your voice a bit.
You might want to clean my maul off. And then she realizes that, we're playing the game again. you might want to clean the maul off. I got a little bit of breakfast on the handle. It's kind of slippery.
Okay, well, we'll get to that when we get to it. Yeah, they're up there disguised as red robed cultists, but they'll be down.
I'll open up the grate and slide down the ramp.
There's a sploosh as Byron opens up the grate and with a swift motion grabs the sides of the metal ladder and slides down with his ankles on the outside edges.
Nick, I think you're a bit stronger than me. I think I should go down next.
Alright, go.
I go down and I start carefully climbing down the ladder.
I'll go next, and I'll pull the grate over.
Okay, would you like to do that stealthily?
Yes, I would.
Okay, make a stealth check. Okay.
21.
I was
Oh.
waiting for a natural.
Almost like a whisper, the sound of the metal drags against the cobblestone, and you very carefully wrest it into place.
It should be good now.
So now down to the cogs, or where are we headed?
Brunhild pipes up. Hey, we still gotta go get that music, don't we? The key from Istrid.
Oh crap.
Yeah, someone's got the recording device, I don't.
I do, and it's invisible, but here's our problem, everyone. Are we really worried about getting the money and that... Yeah, are we really that worried about the money right this instant? Because that's all that's in the...
No, I think there's something a lot more valuable. It's in the vault than money.
Well, I don't know what's in there, but at the same time, they don't know how to get in there. Anyway, valuable, then wouldn't our best bet to be trying to make sure it stays locked up so they don't go in and get it? It seems a lot safer if we only have the knowledge how to open it and a very other few. I don't know, it just seems like it may be a lot safer to leave it locked right now.
I agree with you, Siegfried. I think the more dangerous thing that we have right now is the problem with the mist coming up and finding out where that's coming.
Well, if I were to say, I'm pretty sure they know exactly where the vault is and where the keys are. As, we found out that, microphones were planted everywhere. So, I mean, for me, I think that we should probably get it as fast as possible before the cult tries to get it first.
Well, Nick, what I think we should do then is, Byron, I will give you Mandizzle It can turn invisible and you can control it. You're the stealthiest here. If you want to go up and try to get him to sing song, but the thing is, we need two dwarves. Well, not dwarves, but we need two people playing the bagpipe to play My Bearded Lover, or My Bearded Face, Your Bearded Face. And the problem is, we only have one. So even if we go there now, we're still missing a whole nother dwarf. And then we're going to have to carry that one around with us until we find another one or another person with a bagpipe that can do it.
Well, we do have another dwarven friend at the mansion.
I'm saying, we have at least one, but do we know both of them can play with bagpipes? Either way, I can give Byron my Dismabob, and he can go, and if they both can, and if they play it for him, he can record it and then sneak back here probably better than any of us can. Heck, I can't even see him over there. I only see like little movements when he lifts a leg and just annoyance of having to wait and not.
Can you play the bagpipe?
I cannot. I can play the orcish drums.
Technically, anyone can play a bagpipe. It's just that you won't be able to add a proficiency bonus for 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 the check, the skull check.
Well, I think I found a way that we can just have one bagpipe. If I go talk to the guy up there that knows the song and have him play it, and I record it on your little device, bring him along, play the recording, and have him play along with it, and then that would be 2.
I was thinking that too. My original plan that I had thought of was to record someone and then me do it, but I don't want to risk. I don't really know how to play the bagpipes well. I wouldn't bet myself on it, but we can do that. But then we still have the sunlight. Zito, did you find anything about the sunlight?
Yes, I was able to obtain a scroll of daylight. But going back to our previous discussion about what to do about that song, why don't we go to the Grey Sword Tavern? We were given a task by Keller Bazaar to look into this balloon, and that way we'll be killing 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah, but if we have someone right here, and didn't you say it's too dangerous to let this wait? If it's too dangerous to let it wait, if we have a way to do it now, we might as well just get this now and head straight for the door and get the stuff.
I will chime in. It didn't say it had to be Doors playing the bagpipe.
It doesn't, but if we can get to the manor now versus traveling and risking being caught on the way to the other tavern to get it, you know, it seems just safer to get it here, record and bring the dwarf with us, because they know it. That's all we need. It doesn't have to be dwarf. But if we go to the other place, we have to get there, then get in and get the stuff and hope that that person will come with us and then go there. You know, it's adding an extra step when we don't even know if the person there knows the song or if they'll go with us. At least here it's a friend of Broomheld that we can at least take with us and we know will probably come with us.
You don't need to bring anybody if we just record the song.
I exit the sewers.
Thank you.
There's the sound of the foot on metal, and suddenly as the sunlight rays poking through the holes in the metal grate and places illuminate, and almost like a strange specter, parts of your friend Byron's body are revealed as he is heading up the ladder towards the sewer grate cover.
I'll be back. Hold on to your recording device. We don't need it right now.
All right, hurry back. Yeah, Nick, it's just we need 2 people playing it. So if they play it and we record it and play it back, it works.
I'll go to the
Heading over towards the tavern.
Yes, I'll head on in. I'm still in disguise for up till now.
Okay. We will transition to the tap room then.
Did I see Brunhild's friend?
As you head into the very busy tap room, there is a large amount of individuals within. And you see several individuals at the bar. You see several individuals standing around the bar in between, standing up, not sitting on the stools. You see individuals sitting at the table. It's pretty well packed for the middle of the day. And you can see the familiar sight as soon as you walk in of Lydia standing behind the counter, and she is currently directing with her hands to the halfling workers as they're busying themselves around the tap room. And she looks at you in your disguise form, and she flashes you a smile, sort of dismissive, and then looks away. And then looks towards, at the end of the bar, a tall dwarven man with his arms crossed, who's just sort of scanning the tap room.
Is that Brunhild's friend?
Byron, you remembered that Brunhild's friend Istrid was going to be disguising herself as a dwarven man named Yorn.
I ask Lydia. Is Bjorn around?
Sort of an exasperated Sky. Ah, do you want anything to drink?
Yeah, give me a...
Yeah, I've got a honey mead. It's really good.
Sounds good to me.
I'm all out of stout right now. My friend here has been drinking too much of it. You fucker. Who the hell let you in here anyway? And the dwarf at the end of the bar just sort of grins and looks towards Lydia and just starts chuckling. And Lydia very quickly turns around and pulls a pint for you and then slides the honey mead towards you on the counter.
I give her a gold piece and I'll take the drink.
Oh, thank you. Do you want any change?
No, dear, you keep it.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much, traveler. And she turns back to the other individuals that are at the counter now, just sort of guffawing and laughing and carrying on in various conversation. And the dwarven man is still standing at the edge of the bar, and you can just see that from his brow, it's sort of one eyebrow arched up as he continues to scan the room.
I'll walk over towards him. Is there a seat nearby?
There is an open bar stool right on the edge of the countertop.
I'll take a seat, start drinking a mead, and take a...
Yorn begins to edge a few inches closer to you and says, "I'm not going to have any trouble out here, am I?"
No, I think Brunhild wouldn't like that if we had trouble.
As soon as you mention Brunhild's name, Yorn's eyebrows arch upward in two little perfect symmetrical arcs and says in a low hushed tone, "How do you know Brunhild?"
I'm a friend of hers. She's close by, but needs your help.
What do you mean she needs my help?
Well, if you come quietly with me, Estrid, I will...
As soon as you mention her name, she reaches out to grab your throat. Make a dexterity save. And you very quickly slide off and sideways off of the bar stool, away from this meaty armored fist, as it hands splayed out, reaching for your throat. And her hands clasp shut just inches away from your neck as you step back. A few of the individuals in the bar now are looking. They're not moving, and they do give you a little bit of space as you move back. And Yorn is now, / Istrid is now starting to get closer to you. What would you like to do?
I start laughing out loud. Yorn! Oh, stop playing around.
Yorn now reaches and grabs you by your shoulders. Do you allow him to do so?
I'll step in towards her and then say, "Calm down. I'm a friend. Brunhild me."
Make a persuasion check.
That'd be a 0.
Oh, God.
Oh, sorry. That was a 7. I thought it was a 1. Sorry.
Yorn just sort of rests his hands on your shoulders and tilts his head to the side and says, "Let's go outside. I have a feeling that we might break a few things here in a few moments," and starts pushing you towards the exit.
I'm in her grasp.
She continues to push you towards the door. The door opens with one of her feet very quickly between your legs, kicks the bottom of the door, and it blasts open. And she very gingerly is now guiding you out around the courtyard to the southern wall where the mural is.
Is there many people around?
There are people that are milling about in the streets, but for this time of day, it's not a lot of travelers. People are still working down at the docks, so they're not really, you know, they're not really paying too close attention, I guess you could say.
I'll drop the disguise.
Okay. As soon as the illusion dissipates, Yorn was balling up a fist, getting ready to blast you in the face, and holds back the fist momentarily. With the other hand, is holding onto your shoulder and looks you up and down and sees that the illusion is faded, and says, "You're with Brunhild, right?
Yes, and she needs your help.
Why the fuck are you throwing my name around?"
I said it'd only be you, and it only so low. Yorn.
And she looks around now and says, "All right, where's Brunhild? And why the hell didn't she come in and by herself? Is she hurt?"
No, we're in hiding right now. She's being tracked, and
Well, so am I.
yes, but we've lost them. So come with us. She'll explain everything to you.
All right. And where are we going? Lead the way.
I'll take him over to Sir Lindsay. Follow me.
Okay. The two of you head down the alley short ways and up to the familiar sewer grating. And the rest of the party, you can now hear the sounds of gruff-sounding voice, sort of feminine, dwarven voice that sounds like a mix between feminine and masculine, and you can hear the familiar hushed tones of Byron from above.
And I'll slide down.
Okay.
Brunhild, can you let your friend Yorn know that you're...
Istrid, is that you? I haven't seen you wear that disguise in forever. Jeez. You look better as a man, you know that? Look, we don't have a lot of time. I'm going to be as delicate as I can be. You know me. I need you to sing your beardy face. Or, better yet, can you write down on a piece of paper or parchment something?
Or teach Siegfried.
Or teach Siegfried.
Or come with us.
Yeah, because I don't own a bagpipe or know the song, so not only would I have to learn how to do it on the bagpipes and learn the songs, I'd probably also need to go buy some bagpipes or borrow some one. So preferably if you could, come with us.
Okay.
I'll slide the grate back.
I have a set of bagpipes back at that tap room stashed away. I could go grab them, and we could stop somewhere real quick and get a set, I guess. You said we need 2?
Well, all we really need is when we get there, I can record you playing, and then you can play and I can play the recording, and that would work. So we don't need a second pair. We just need at least one person that can do it for us.
All right. Well, let me go get my bagpipes. I'll be right back. And she turns around and begins heading up the ladder towards the surface.
I walk next to Nick and I kind of nudge him with my elbows, like, wow, the sewers really are a hotspot tonight, but it smells horrible out here.
Really? It smells fine to me. Yeah, I don't smell nothing.
I think your nose is broken.
Nah, my sniffers are real good, man. I can smell anything, trust me.
So after a few minutes, you hear the sound of Brunhild stomping down and looks into the holes of the grate and says, "All right, I got my shit. I figured we'd go in somewhere. I might as well bring my weapons with me."
Smart move.
So, am I coming down there? Are you guys coming up here? What's going on?
Byron, can we get where we're going or closer to it through the sewers, or do we have to...
I can get you in the general vicinity.
Alrighty, we're coming down.
You-
We're going through the sewers, so come on down.
So you're all heading to middle. You're heading to Middle Memphis Plateau, correct? To the
Correct.
theater. To the theater.
Yeah.
Okay. So that will take you about 2 hours, sloshing through the sewers.
Sloshing through the waves with a dwarf strapped to my back.
And Siegfried, you can learn the at least the melody or the words.
Siegfried will work on the wording so we can be quiet because bagpipes are loud.
Yeah, I'm not saying practice bagpipes in the sewer.
Devin, do you have a set of bagpipes you can play?
I think I left him on my other pair of pants. Said I don't need to learn it, I just need to record it and play it back from them playing it.
Did you all wish to leave now, or
We head that way.
Siegfried's ready to head that way.
okay?
Yeah, I'll lead them down to the ladders to get there.
Well, let
where
me
we need to go.
let me throw Istrid onto the party then.
Samael, are you okay? You seem rather quiet.
Yeah, I'm good. Y'all are just making plans, and I'd rather not interfere.
Yeah, well, sometimes you have plans too. I mean, sometimes we're busy planning when obviously the right thing to do is just to barge in and smash them in the face. Other
Well,
times it's still.
That was actually my plan. I was like, why are we sitting here talking when we could be smashing? And y'all seem like y'all are, really covering some ground, so I figured I'd just wait.
Brunhild says, "We fell out of the sky. What happened to you guys?"
We also fell out of the sky.
I got caught by
I
I got caught by an angel.
I landed on a ship full of enemies, but don't worry, I killed them all.
I got caught by a bridge.
My groin got caught on a flagpole.
I think I fell on another sky coach on an old day. Anyways,
All right, 2 hours.
Was there anything else that you would all like to discuss while you're trudging through the sewers?
Zito, do you know the cogs well?
What, just because he's a kobold, he has to know the cogs?
No,
I
I,
asked it because I don't.
no, I don't know the cogs, and actually reminds me that something happened to Samael's order, but I think it's best if you hear it from him.
Well, Sam.
Yeah, well, it turns out the cathedral, the same place we've been to multiple times to meet with my order, was attacked and has fallen. The Order of the Silver Flame and the rest of the knights are out fighting right now across the city, trying to get everything under control. But yeah, at this point here, they've taken a heavy loss.
Are you guys winning?
No. I
Oh.
mean, I've won every fight I've ever been in, but as a whole, I'd say we're probably losing.
That's really bad news. How big is this order anyway?
I mean, I've never taken a head count. It's pretty big.
I'm just kidding. Oh, that means the cult's probably bigger. I'm nervous now. Whew. There's a lot more
Take off
cultists
the
than we
head.
thought.
I
We
mean,
also
we pretty
got
much
these,
could function as a private army if we needed to.
Yes,
Looks like this cult or whoever's attacking us has some sort of insect things working with them as well.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and
What kind of
The-
insects?
we fought another Dolgaunt also. Remember that thing that kept grappling me over and over, and I damn near took its head off? Zito just stomped one earlier.
Are you guys all right?
Yeah, I mean we're great. Like I said, Zito just stomped the devil out of it.
I mean, like health-wise, you guys look like you're bleeding at all.
Zito, did you even get hit?
Thankfully not.
Yeah, no,
You
we're
notice-
pretty much good to go.
You notice that Siegfried still has a bit of blood dripping from a few scrapes and.
Zara lays a hand on him and casts Cure Wounds.
Still walking with a limp too, I guess, huh?
Yeah, just a bit. Sometimes it's still.
Brunhild whispers, "Are we not playing the quiet game anymore?"
We really all should be playing the quiet game.
I was trying, but then everybody started asking me questions. Frankly, I feel like they were cheating by doing so.
I never said I play fair.
Time passes.
If there's nothing else that you all wanted to discuss while you're traveling, after a great amount of time heading up at angles, down at angles, trudging through the sewage, which at times is ankle high, then calf high, then nearly waist high, and then finding a final shaft that on one of the edges of what you know to be, you're fairly certain, Byron, is the Memphis Plateau ward. You all begin to ascend these ladders up, and as you get closer to this section, you all start to feel a little strange. Like there's a vibration in the air. The air tastes different. Like you're used to this disgusting taste of just raw sewage in your mouth. But there's another taste, like an irony tang. And as you begin to continue to ascend, you all start to now feel like a strange vibration in your heads. Like a little bit of a headache. And it continues to increase in intensity as you get closer to Middle Memphis Plateau. And eventually you find yourselves at a junction with a access point that leads you to the streets of that district within Memphis Plateau, which you have all remember is the location, according to Roger, of the vault. And that buzzing sensation that increased a few minutes before you arrived at the ladder that leads up to the street, it suddenly stopped. And there's another smell. The irony smell is gone, or the irony taste in your mouth is gone, and now there's it smells like acrid smoke that seems to be seeping down from the holes in the manhole cover above you.
Oof, that doesn't smell good.
I'll peek through the sewer lid.
As you peek out, make a perception check. Looking around, Byron, as you look up, you see the familiar district with the theater district is very, even within a middle section, middle ward within the city is full of typically very posh individuals, very well dressed. The streets appear to be cleared, and in the distance, what you can only assume is a series of large theaters. One of them appears to be on fire. And best you can see, there does not appear to be any individuals on the streets around it. Like, this fire does not seem to be drawing a crowd. In fact, there are no crowds.
So the streets are empty?
The streets are empty. From
Are
what
there
you
ample
can
hiding
see.
spot?
Oh yes, very tall buildings, plenty of deep shadows. The buildings that are around the bases of the towers that arch up and that continue up. The theater itself that you're looking for, classic theater, is an old building that's built on the edge and then into one of the towers.
Is that building on fire, or is it?
Best that you can tell, yes.
Looks like our building's on fire. Do you guys still want to go?
The entire building is not completely, doesn't look like it's burning down. What it looks like to you, it looks like there are some of the windows on the front of the facade from this distance look like there's a little bit of an orange glow, and there's some smoke pouring out of some of the other windows. And the top of the building, there's a few errant flames that seem to be flickering. They're not like a roaring fire. Whatever this was appears to have happened and now seems to be going out.
Alright. I'm going out. I'm gonna go into the shadows and tell them you guys can come up. The building's on fire. Might need to check it out. I don't know what you want. And I'll hide in the shadow.
I think I'd rather be in a burning building than in the sewers any longer. Let's get out of here somehow.
All right, we're climbing out.
I'll fall behind.
Okay. It is approximately 6 p.m. now. Looking around the streets, you can see off in the distance what appears to be the ends of this part of the district seem to be crowds forming on the very ends. And off in the distance, you can see what looks like the watch that are holding people back from entering into this area. Peering up and down all of the different areas, all the different alleys leading up and down north, south, east, and west, you can see that this section of the district appears to be closed off for some reason. What would you like to do?
Is there anyone standing guard, or is this place still empty?
In regards to the theater,
Yes.
The theater appears to be... There don't appear to be any individuals in front of the theater.
Does anyone want to go and check it out?
I will.
I got your back.
Okay, I'll stride on over there, see what's going on. The rest of you take cover and hide. I'm not very good at that.
Siegfried will follow behind.
Okay. As you head up towards the outer facade of the building, the front doors to the theater are open. And just inside of the doorway, you see charred corpses. Best general look, glancing at them, it looks like possibly they were fleeing from something.
In which direction? Away from the house or towards the house?
Away from the building. Like there's a little bit of a within there's a little bit of a sort of like a lobby, and these people seem to have fallen their heads towards you, their legs pointing into the interior, and that look like most of them look like they've fallen forward before they were burnt up.
Can I tell what the source of the blaze is from where I'm standing?
Well, looking around, you can see that they're in areas, the normally very ornate interior, the very posh interior of this theater appears to be charred in places. In fact, just beyond the lobby, you can see a doors on either side that lead in. You can see that the tapestries are all burnt up. The carpet is all burnt up, and it almost seems like this blast originated from and then came out towards the door.
That's not good. I'm gonna go ahead and proceed in if possible.
Okay. Do you head into the lobby?
Yes.
Okay.
I look at Samael. You know, if anything looked like a trap, this would be it.
I always thought if it looked more like a trap, it would be made out of metal with sharp teeth on it. Kind of like a bear trap. That would look more like a trap than this. But, you're right, this might be a trap. All of you stay back and let me go in there. I'll spring the trap and then you jump in and kill whoever does it.
No. We go in together. There is no other way, but it looks like they got here first.
Well, leave Byron outside at least. That way if they get all of us, Byron can kill them.
There are a couple of ways from what you can tell into the theater proper. Samael, there is the two doors that have a set of stairs that seem to go up a little bit and then turn around a corner. Those are on both sides of the lobby. And then there's another 10-foot wide hallway that turns around and then seems to go on, possibly into the building from the side.
Which one looks the most like a main entrance? Like the entrance?
These two sets of, from what you can tell, these two sets of stairs on either side of the lobby seem to be the way into the seating area, possibly.
Very well. I will take the one to the left.
Okay.
Where was the vault supposed to be?
Roger told you that the vault was far, far below the classic theater. Okay. Samael, as you head up the stairs around the corner, you see another charred body. This one appears to be holding a bundle. You're fairly certain possibly used to be a child and is leaning against the wall. And as you turn around the corner, you see a grand theater, several rows of seating. And some of the seating is burnt to ash. Some of it still have lingering, flickering flames. And towards the center of this theater, you see a large blackened crater. And ahead of that, towards the eastern wall, is a raised platform. And standing up on this platform, you see an individual wearing a red robe. The theater is filled with this smell of burnt flesh. And on the grand stage, you see a familiar sight of Bryn, the sorcerer. As you walk into the room, Bryn looks up. Seated on the edge of some sort of long table, several chairs, he was seated, now stands, and says, "Hey man, how's it going?"
You know, same as always, doing good.
Out his flute, and he blasts him with some lightning.
Oh, you're behind him? Siegfried?
Yeah, I was walking with fucking Samael the whole time.
Okay. So you're not even gonna let him talk. All right, cool.
Oh yeah, no, fuck him.
Okay. Well,
Siegfried saw a body of a dead child, or what was a dead child. He's pissed.
all right then.
That does sound like Siegfried. Blast him. Fuck it.
Well, in that case, I need everyone to roll for initiative.
Wait, did Siegfried throw something?
Apparently, he's firing his loot at somebody.
Did we all get a surprise round?
Unfortunately, no. You guys didn't go with him. And in a moment, I will add him to the tracker for you so that you can take a pot shot at him.
Was there a map we can see?
Yep. I'm about to load you guys on it, actually. Just got to put a few of you on the map. So the rest of you guys stayed outside of the theater, or did you go in the lobby?
I was trying to stay within 60 feet of Sam, but
Yeah, I was trying to fall behind you.
Alright, so you put Samuel on the map, and I'll put Siggy. There's Siggy.
Yeah, sorry. Siegfried got pissed off by that.
Alright, so I'm going to say that you guys are... I'll say, Byron, you were following behind. And unless you guys told me, I'm just going to put the rest of you guys in the lobby. Alright?
That's fine.
Okay. Is that okay with you, Nick?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
yeah, because I can't have Sam's back if I'm not within
R-
60 feet.
Right. Let's see. And... oh, I guess I need to put Istrid on the map, too. Because she's with you guys. And, Samael, would you like control of Brunhild's character sheet?
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Okay. And Zito, what were you doing? I remember you. Were you also in the lobby with them, or no?
Yeah, Zito will stay in the lobby.
Okay. All right, just want to make sure. Now, in that case, let me put them on the map. On the combat tracker. And okay. That is not the music I wanted. Okay, there we go. Alright, there you go, Siegfried. Now you can make your surprise attack.
Alrighty, can I get a map?
Yes, you may.
I got a question because is that Golgrim 3 within 5 feet of that little range going directly from me to him?
Well, draw a line to him and see if he is.
He's in the block right next to one that it travels.
Okay. Well, that's what I'm saying is draw a line and see if it would get him. Because how wide is your attack?
It's 5 feet wide.
It's 5 feet wide. Okay. So I would say, looking at your attack the way it is designed, I would say that he is just out of your range. He's like on the edge of it. Like he would smell the lightning bolt as it struck.
His penis would shrivel up.
Alright, so go ahead and roll your attack, sir.
So he will take half the damage.
Okay. So... Alright. And you, on your surprise round, you can move if you like.
Nah, Siegfried's good at his spot for now.
Okay. Well, in that case, Byron, it is your turn. Byron, you just heard the sound, a familiar sound of Bryn's voice echoing throughout the chamber, and you just heard another sound of a crackling lightning attack that arced through the chamber.
I'm gonna move up the corner. See what happens.
Okay.
I'm still. You want me to roll? Or
Yes, please.
this is hide, correct?
Yes, this would be to... if you're trying to hide, yes, that would be a hide. Okay. Looking beyond Siegfried and Samael, the chamber arcs down, and you see multiple armed goblin-like creatures holding these large double crossbows, and they're currently leveling them at Samael and Siegfried. And you can also see just around the corner, standing near a table, you see a red-cloaked individual.
Okay. I'll go ahead and fire at Golgrim.
Okay.
Does he see me?
He does not see you. Unfortunately, that is a miss.
When I roll a double one. No, it only rolled one minus.
says drop to 1, actually.
Yeah, roll a double 1.
That's weird. So you pull back your bow and...
Well, it says attack 15 and then drop to 1.
Yeah, you rolled... your highest was a 15. So you rolled it. You rolled a 6 plus 9.
Alright, throw me off there. That's all the one. Like,
No worries. I imagine that the smell of the smoke in your eye and the sight of a baby burnt up to ash in front of you right now is kind of disconcerting.
alright, I'll do my second one. The first one with my hand was going to this one.
Okay.
I'm gonna do bonus action. Hunter's mark.
Okay. That is a hit. Knocking another arrow very quickly, pulling back. Fire an arrow out towards the goblin-like creature as he is cackling and sort of fidgeting on the grand stage. And your arrow catches him in the side of his neck, and there's an explosion of an orange-like substance that splatters out, and he pitches forward and falls off of the stage, quite dead.
And now it's my turn.
And Zito, it is your turn. You are hearing the sounds of cackling, cacophony of cackling, and you heard the loud sound of a lightning type attack that filled the chamber somewhere within the theater.
Nick, do you hear anything that's going on in there?
Do I hear anything as well?
Are you spending your action talking to Nick? I would say that talking to Nick is a free action, but you gotta take your action. So as part of your action, you can speak to him. He won't be able to respond to you until his turn.
I'll hold my action until Nick tells me what's going on.
Okay. In that case, Samael, it is your turn.
All right.
Samael goes rushing down the staircase, down several flights of several feet onto the main floor below the grand case. This disgusting and vile, multi-armed goblin-like creature is pitched forward dead in front of you. And as you hold your arm out, this ropey, muscular form arcs out from your wrist, attempting to fire your lightning bolt. It just manages to blast the tapestry next to the creature and light it ablaze for a moment. The Dolgrim, staring down at you, laughing hysterically, now narrows his double crossbow at your face. And somehow manages to miss you from 15 feet away. You just manage to shift to the side as the double bolts glance off of your armor and flip end over end, smashing harmlessly out of the way. The creature now hops down and runs towards you, pulling out its maul, looking like it's getting ready to smack you next time. From beyond the stage, Siegfried, now you scanning the stage, you can see that the Dolgrim are now aiming their weapons both at you and at Samael.
Child killing pussies.
And that's a natural one. Creature screeches out, hops down, and now begins moving as fast as it can towards Samael. And Nicholas, it is your turn.
Do I hear anything?
Yes, you can hear the sounds of battle coming from the chamber beyond. And you heard the sound of... You watched as Byron ducked around the corner, pulling his bow out.
Zito, they're fighting. And I'm gonna run in here.
Okay.
Run there, and there.
Alright.
And get in the side right there.
So you're running you're doing your full movement?
Yeah, full
Okay.
move it to right there, that chair.
Alright, your full movement plus your regular movement plus your run, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
my dash.
Alright.
Chair.
As you head into the chamber, you can see the same sight that you saw once before. For some reason, that is not letting me move you. There you go.
There we go.
You can see the same sight before. You can see these multi-armed goblin-like creatures, and you see in a long, flowing red robe, holding a staff in one hand, a contemplative-looking Bryn, the Shifter Sorcerer, looking in your direction and the rest of your friends, seeming to scan the room.
Brandon!
Oh, hey, man. Miss Blackwater sends her regards. She couldn't stick around for long because she needed to deal with the Vault Guardian and get that staff. She said I could hang out with you guys and show off my skills.
Yeah, I bet. And I'm gonna hit him with magic missile on my wand. I'm gonna use one charge and hit him.
Okay. Ooh, that tickled, man.
Two.
The most chillax battle ever.
And I'm gonna end
Hey,
my
if you-
turn there.
If you want, I have a Magic Missile soundtrack.
Okay.
Yes!
There you go. And Zara, it is your turn. You just watched your husband rush up the stairs after your friends.
Alright, I'm going to run in as well. And let's see how far I can go. I'm gonna move up right next to Byron.
Okay. So
I'd
it's
be like,
still within the chamber, just standing next to him?
yes, just be like, oh, excuse me, pardon me, Byron, excuse me.
I don't think you see me, but that's okay.
Well, okay, if I see him.
He's not in complete darkness. But he is sort of like up against the wall. So as you walked up, you see there's a little bit of a tapestry there that's sort of billowing out, and that's all you see. You don't see him.
Okay. So I'm going to look around the room and see what I can see, and
Well, from right where you're at, there's a wall directly in front of you. So if you wanted to see within the chamber, you'd have to reveal yourself.
yes, that's fine. I'll move like right.
So you're gonna move into the hallway, like right here.
Yep.
Alrighty. Around the corner, you see your husband to your left, Siegfried immediately in front of you. Samael is dealing with this multi-armed creature down below, and you see more of them up on the stage, one down below, and the familiar sight of Bryn.
Okay, I'm going to crouch down kind of behind this theater chair right here.
Okay, are you trying to hide? Is your action?
No, I'm going to actually notch an arrow and shoot it at.
Okay. Pulling out your crossbow and aiming it at Bryn. Go right ahead. That is a hit.
23. And I'll use my War Priest ability to fire again. Oh, that's...
I was gonna say, doesn't that only work on melee attacks? I could be wrong.
You're right, yes. It's just melee, so ignore that one.
Okay. Well, it didn't hit, so don't worry.
And I'm using my bonus action to cast Spiritual Weapon, and, let's see. It's exactly 60 feet away, so I can move it... Well, I can cast it right next to him.
Okay. So, we'll say it's right here.
Yes.
Alright. Whispering the words to summon your arcane weapon that just coalesces and emerges into being in front of Bryn. And Bryn seems kind of shocked and takes a step back. Just a little stutter step, not without it out of its range, and just as it misses him.
Dang it. And that's the end of my turn.
Okay. Zito, did you want to take your turn now or wait?
Yeah, I was gonna say before that Dahlgrim goes, Dita's gonna go up.
Okay.
That'll be it.
Okay. Dahlgrim number 5 is going to level his crossbow, and he's going to attempt to take a shot at Siegfried. I'll tell you what, actually, he's going to attempt to take a shot at this newcomer that just created this weird-looking weapon next to his buddy. And with a sort of a twang and a twang, the bolts go right past your ear, Zara, and thunk thunk into the wall behind you.
Onesies, buddies.
Do I technically have, like, half cover?
I would say that you don't really have any cover, because these chairs are pretty much burnt to a crisp. Like, the backs of them are gone. The seat part are, like, raised up off of the ground just a little bit. So if anything, it's, like, covering, like, your shin down, maybe your knees down.
Still being...
The Dahlgrim is going to now hop off the stage. And he is going to move over just a little bit. And then the other one, not too far away, he is also going to attempt to fire at you. And that is also a miss. Again, 2 more bolts, thunk, maybe a foot away from your leg. And Siegfried, is your turn.
Siegfried, still pissed off with the rage of 1,000 gods. He's gonna move over here and line up. And he's going to strum all of his anger and sadness.
Okay, you will also hit your friend.
There we go.
Okay, so you will hit all 3 targets.
Let me go ahead and roll the X, which any that pass will take half damage. Hey, can you roll a dex save for me? Because, Jesus, I have to double click and that doesn't work on this. I've been using it from Earth Trip for the dex save.
I will here in a moment, as soon as Fantasy Grounds decides to start working again for me.
Yeah. I got kicked out entirely too.
Yeah, for some reason, Fantasy Grounds doesn't like us tonight. But the goblins are having a good time.
Swinging from the chandeliers. Twinkle Toes, get down from there!
Okay, so you want me to do
There it all went.
a dexterity save, correct?
Yes, give it.
What's
it
the...
looked like a bunch of dice just failed. Yeah, there it goes.
Okay.
So let's look at the
So,
first three.
Bren succeeded. Dolgrim number 3 failed. And... yeah.
Actually, on the first set that went through, they all failed, which is what I was gonna look at anyways. It's just the first set.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm seeing multiple things here, so I have no idea what I'm looking at.
I scrolled up to the very first one, which would have been the first.
Let's see. Okay. Yep, they all failed. Okay.
Oh,
You also didn't target them.
I had them targeted, but when everything messed up.
That's okay. Alright, so let's see. Number 2, number 3 both took 13, and so did Bren.
I'm dragging it.
Alright.
It feels great to release some of that rage.
Alright. Does that complete your turn?
That ends my turn.
Okay. So, on Bryn's turn, he is going to say, "Hey guys, remember my torches?" And
no.
he is going to take he takes a piece of wood out from his cloak, ignites it in his hand, and tosses it towards where Zara and Nicholas are standing. So I need Zara, Nicholas, and Byron to make dexterity saves.
And Jeremy, could you share the map again with us?
Yes, I can.
I wonder if anyone would like to use a hero point.
Yeah, would you like to use a hero point?
No, I'm fine.
Okay. How about you? Zara, did you already roll your dexterity save? Okay.
Yeah, I'll use a hero point.
Okay, go ahead and roll a hero point.
I guess that's a 14.
A 14.
Max.
Okay. So, Derek, you take 8d6 fire damage.
Derek explodes in the kitchen where he's sitting. In our dining room next to Daisy.
His computer explodes.
And you are down. There's a massive explosion, just like a burst of light. Zara, you just had a moment to duck out of the way, and you take, we'll say you take 15 fire damage.
I told you, Nick. I tried to save you, my love.
And Byron, you also take 15 fire damage, as the brunt of the explosion was blocked by the wall. Or you just had a moment to pull yourself back from the opening. And Bren yells out, "How is that for you?" And Dolgrim number 3, seeing a nice juicy target, which is Siegfried, is going to move over here. And knocking 2 bolts into his double crossbow, he's going to attempt to shoot Siegfried in the face. And he hits.
It's either a 20 or right on the seat. Oh no, please, Daddy, go.
And quick succession, 2 bolts strike you in your chest, or are now sticking out of your chest.
Oh yeah, that's fine. I'm off.
Is that the end of your turn? I just realized I didn't roll initiative for Brunhild.
Oh.
Whoops.
She's angry about that. She's been standing there the whole time playing the quiet game.
Exactly. Well, let me clear her ownership so that Samael can take control of her. There you go, Samael. And we'll say it's her turn. She'll roll initiative on the next turn.
Okay, how do I take control of her?
If you pull up the characters, you should see that her character sheet is available.
Got it. And she is going to move to there.
Okay. And Yorn is going to follow after you and is now behind Zito. And is that all you're going to do on your turn?
Yes, that's all.
Okay. Brunhild, looking around the corner, yells out, says, "Where the fight is at? Oh, shit." Nicholas, make a death save.
Alright. Oh, I accidentally rolled twice. First one was an 8. So.
Okay, that's a failure.
Would you like to use a hero point to make it a success?
Yeah.
Oh,
Would you-
yeah. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, I would.
Okay, make sure you're keeping track of those hero points, sir. I see 6 of them on your sheet. Have you not been using them?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Him and Kevin are horrible.
So
Yeah, make sure when
fine.
you guys are using hero points, you should be rolling them from the character sheet, not just rolling a d6. Just remember that. 'Cause that's the only way that we're going to keep track that you guys are using them.
I also think we usually like never save death saves, if I'm gonna be honest.
Okay.
I've only used 2.
Byron, it is your turn. Your armor is somewhat charred. You smell the smoke is rising from your leather, which is somewhat blackened.
Remove the gear.
Okay. Would you like to roll a stealth on that?
Yep, because I moved more than 10.
Okay. Ready?
Does Brenton see me?
Well, let's see. You rolled pretty high. Probably not, but let's find out. Unless he rolls a natural 20, I don't think he's going to see you. Nope, he does not see you.
Right now, transfer over the hunter's mark. And I will fire.
That's a hit.
And I'm done.
Okay. Dolgrim number 3 is now going to hop down. Actually, no. He's gonna go ahead and fire at Siegfried again because he's feeling lucky. Knocking 2 more bolts, slamming them into the aperture. in quick succession, almost exact same spot, Siegfried, you take 2 bolts to your chest. You now have 4 bolts that are sticking out of your chest, and you pitch over onto the ground unconscious and bleed out. Well, not bleed out, but you are bleeding out. And it is Brunhild's turn.
Very well. Brunhild is charging to there.
Okay.
Hammer Town.
Brunhild's stubby legs as she charges down the staircase with her weapons out. And hurling a hand axe at the Dolgrim, catches it in the side of its neck, and there's a bit of an explosion of orange gooey blood that splats against the weapon that is now stuck in its neck. It's reaching up with its multiple arms, finagling, attempting to pull it out.
And she yells, "Hey, give that back!" And I end my turn.
Okay. Zito, it is your turn. Whoops. There we go.
Alright. Zito is going to step into the auditorium, and his eyes are immediately going to go into the red-robed figure. I'm not sure if he recognizes him personally, but he's going to cast Fireball. Or Fire...
Fireball?
Fireball.
Yeah, Zito learned Fireball.
Okay, the Crimson Robe is now weak.
Firebolt or fireball?
It's a bolt.
Firebolt.
As a reaction, Bryn is going to cast Shield on himself.
I don't know why I didn't target him, but it was a 24 to hit.
A 24 to hit. Let's see. That totally hits. So, just as he was raising up his arm to create this arcane shield in front of him, Bryn's smiling, cackling. Your firebolt arcs over through the auditorium and catches him in the face and immediately ignites his head, and he yells and screams and pitches backwards, dead.
Jeremy, I made a mistake. I did damage for catapult instead of fire.
Oh, well, how much? Well, go ahead and throw your damage for the other one and see what it does.
So just heal him 13 hit points.
Time machine rewind.
Well, let's see. He only had 6 hit points left, so
Oh,
go ahead and roll your damage for
No,
your...
I did 2 damage.
You did 2 damage. Okay, well, in that case, we'll go back in the Wayback Machine, and he's still alive.
Me and Byram have been fucking them up a lot.
And apparently Fantasy Grounds has decided that it doesn't want to work tonight. Not sure what's going on.
Lazy good program.
Let's try this again. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so you only did 2 damage.
Only 2.
Only 2. Okay, well, so he's just like, fuck, and he's now trying to pat out the fire that you caught him on his arm. He still casts the shield up. And Dolgrim number 5, in reaction to Bryn hunking this, manages to pull the hand axe out of its neck and raises its double crossbow up, knocking 2 bolts, and fires them point blank range at Brunhild. And manages to hit her. 2 bolts catch her in her side. One near her clavicle, the other one slamming into the side of her armor. And Zara, it is your turn.
Okay. So, seeing that my friends are pretty dying or hit, let's see.
I'm not.
I'm going to move right in front of Nicholas, right?
Okay.
And cast Prayer of Healing. So this will heal up to 6 people within 30 feet.
It also takes 10 minutes.
Oh, just kidding. I'm not doing that. Okay.
Zara is AFK, guys.
Yay. Well, then I'm going to... well, I have to take out my potion of greater healing and pour it down Nicholas.
Okay.
Which is 4d4 plus 4.
So you pull out the somewhat translucent pink liquid, reddish pink, down his throat, and Nicholas heals for 17 hit points, and his eyes snap open.
I think you were looking for the healing word, Zara.
Was I? What do I have?
Level 1, a creature of your choice that is within range regains hit points equal to 4 plus your caster level.
Yeah, I have healing word, but I'm using a healing potion. That's fine.
That's okay.
And then I'll use my bonus action to smash.
Okay, so your action you used to give him the potion, and your bonus action you're using to attack, correct? Okay, go right ahead. He still has his shield up. This arcane weapon bashes against the energy shield that Ren has summoned in front of him. And he just sort of chuckles to himself, and he says, "Oh, that was funny. You guys are funny."
You're pretty dead, and she answered.
Okay. On Bryn's turn, he is going to cast... Well, why not? He's going to cast Fireball and catch all 5 of you. And why not? He'll go after his own guy too. Why not? Okay. Siegfried auto fails.
The time I rolled a 20 is when I auto fail because I'm a
Nicholas fails. Samael fails. Byron succeeds. Zara, you fail.
Oh god.
I'll use a hero point.
Okay. If you guys want to use hero points.
I can't see what my save roll was, so I don't know if I...
Mine was an 8.
Wait, how does Siegfried auto fail 1 at 25?
Because he's unconscious.
Oh.
Oh, I apologize. I just used one of Brunhild's hero points.
Haha.
Does she need to use a hero point, or is she...
No, she's good. She's on the other side of the chamber. Alright, so Nicholas, you still fail. Samael... Was that a 5?
Can you use more than one hero point at a time?
Unfortunately, no. So Samael, that was, what was that, a 5? Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, you still fail. Nobody else wants to roll a All right.
I'm too low. Ah.
All right, what's the damage?
Okay. Siegfried, your body explodes into ash. Zara is immediately turned to ash. Samael, you fall unconscious. The Dolgrim is turned to ash. And Nicholas, you fall unconscious. Looking out across the stage, Byron, you just watch as both Siegfried and Zara turn into ash. And you watch as her spiritual weapon spell fades into a silvery mist.
Plus side. Combat track one. Gotta stay positive, guys.
And I'm just looking at... Wait, how's that instant death for Zara?
I don't know. I mean, it exceeds her hit points by a lot.
How did it say how many exceeded your hit points by?
I mean, it was like... He had 8 before?
You had 8 before?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that exceeded your hit points, unfortunately. Okay. Gosh. Siegfried, I'm so sorry. Dolgrim number 4 is going to hop off the stage and go running up towards Brunhild. And is going to attack with its maul 2 times. First time is a hit. Second time is a miss. But its maul bashes into Brunhild's chest. Samael, would you like to make a death save for me?
I would. I made 2 because I'm dumb.
Okay, well that's 1 success.
Perfect.
So we'll take that failure off of your sheet.
Thank you. And we'll just pretend that one didn't happen, and maybe it'll cause RNG to give me a go next time.
Okay. Dolgrim number 6 is now running up to the body of Samael and is going to swing down with its maul twice.
With advantage.
With advantage. I think it rolls with advantage automatically. But we'll see. Maybe it'll roll with double advantage.
Double 1. There you go.
Ah, well, it missed its first attack.
Siegfried.
Why is it attacking Siegfried? I apologize.
He's already dead! Leave him alone!
His ashes.
I'm just gonna keep bashing his ashes into the ground.
They really hate him for all that electric shit he was doing.
Alright, we'll just go ahead and say he missed you. Somehow managed to miss a prone, unconscious Samael.
Isn't that an automatic
I'm
success?
dead,
Like an
dead,
automatic
dead.
crit?
My armor is beastly, man. You ain't getting through that without a can opener.
I mean, isn't that a coup de grace almost?
Not with my plate.
He must really suck.
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna throw...
Listen, his first attack missed a dead Sig.
Just for ha-has, I'm gonna say boom. That's 1 death save on you, Samael. Sorry. Because, yeah, he is right. He is right. You are unconscious, so that would be technically automatic
It's a
crit.
coup de grace. Yeah, it's an
Yeah.
automatic crit.
Well, it's not like a dodge anyway. It's just
It's true.
armor. Block.
All
I
right.
don't have my shield in hand. Use that.
On Yorn's turn, Yorn walks into the room and says, "Holy fuck. Everyone's dying."
Now get out of here.
Yorn is going to... Let's see. Yorn is going to walk into the room and cast... Let's see. How far away is Samael? Alright. Yorn is going to cast Healing Word at 4th level. Oh no, actually. She is going to cast... Nah, she'll just cast it at a 2nd level. Samael, you hear the sound of a cackling goblin, and your eyes snap wide awake.
It's like everywhere.
And let me take this unconscious. You're off. You're no longer unconscious. And then Yorn is going to start booking it across the aisle here. As far as she can go. Running towards all of you. And she is emitting a golden light. And it is Dolgrim number 4's turn. Dolgrim number 4 is going to again attempt to bash into Brunhild with its maul. Its first attack arcing over. And missing. Growling and snarling, once again, bashes into her armor and smacks Brunhild in the side of her head. Dolgrim number 6 is looking down at you. You are prone on the ground, Samael. And he's going to attempt to smash you with his maul. And misses you the first time. Sort of brings it down. You manage to scoot across the ground just a little bit. And again, it attempts to smash you right in the center of your chest. And again, you manage to scoot back just a little bit towards what used to be Siegfried. Dolgrim number 5 is going to scramble up next to Brunhild and is going to attempt to hit her with his maul. The first attack striking her right in the middle of her forehead. The second one also hitting. Her ears ringing. The maul comes forth and catches her in the side of her head and her ear. And Byron, it is your turn.
Man, I'm gonna keep targeting the brain.
Okay. That is A hit.
Did he put
His shield,
effect up against
you
his-
you rolled a 28, it got right through it. So he pulled his arm up into the air and once again tried to block your attack. And your bolt catches him right in his right eye, goes through the eye socket, and his body hurls backward and hits the ground. And as he does, he lets out a guttural yell, and the remaining 4 Dolgrim turn to sludge, like jelly, and die squealing and screaming. And
Okay.
you are all out of combat.
Well, some of us are. Some of us will never be out of combat again.
Well, give me 1 second to do something. Hold on one.
Time for that angel to show up.
Well, just give me a moment. Let's see. Okay. Within the chamber is somber, quite somber. Looking around within the chamber, Brunhild is staring at this disgusting blobs that used to be Dolgrim in front of her. Byron, staring around the chamber, you see the charred, not completely gone, the charred corpses of your friends. Nicholas, you are still unconscious. And Yorn, aka Istrid, is now rushing forth and sees the downed bodies of Siegfried and Zara and says, "What the hell happened?" And Brunhild looks and says, "They got fucking killed. That's what happened." And Istrid stands above the pitifully burnt corpse of Zara Highhill. And she reaches out to the left side of her pocket, a little satchel, and unbuttons the satchel and says, "Brunhild, you fucking owe me," and pulls out a handful of diamonds and scatters them over the ruined corpse of Zara Highhill. And there is hushed whispers in the air as she begins to whisper out an incantation and cast Revivify on Zara Highhill. Zara, your eyes snap wide awake and you take a breath. And Yorn turns around, sort of staring down with you, sort of disdainfully, and she says, "This is fucking expensive, you know," and walks down to the corpse, the ruined corpse of Siegfried, and just sort of, not gently, but just chucks downward a handful of diamonds onto Siegfried and begins to speak the incantations once again and cast Revivify on Siegfried. And Siegfried, your eyes, you snap awake.
Darkness! There is no God! What?
Yorn says, "Shut up, pussy."
How much for... What happened? How much did you...
"You owe me 10,000 gold." And she begins stomping out of the room.
Each or all together?
"I haven't decided yet." "Brunhild, All right. Nicholas, you want to make some death saves, or does somebody want to get him up?
I think
I already rubbed some
Alright.
healing herb on him.
you rubbed it good.
Rubbed it good? Okay.
Did you get his groin?
I used all 4 of them up.
Congratulations, Zara and Siegfried. Y'all just came back from the brink of the beyond.
Yeah.
They didn't come back to the brink. They had to sweep Siegfried up before they revived him.
Yes,
It-
but you two, hey. Did you get your true Siegfried back?
Yeah, Zara's like the definition of act.
Listen, there's like a handful of different personalities you could have got. Are you sure you got the right one back?
Zara just
So-
sits up and then pukes ash all over the.
Yeah.
So what's on Bryn's corpse?
On Bryn's corpse, you find mostly moldy robes. Underneath his red robe, he was carrying some very moldy robes. Like it looks like the same outfit that you saw him in the very last time you saw him. And as you're staring at his corpse, the back of his skull is hollow, and there's a sickly looking purple brain resting in his cranium, which is now turning to sludge and seeping out of his ear canals.
Zito, Byron, you definitely need to come take a look at this. Tell me if you ever seen anything like this. Zito, you ever run across anything like this? Do we
Let me
find any
take a look.
notes or orders or anything like that on him?
You do find a note. The note is in common, and it says, "Destroy them if you must. Stall them if you can, until we can deal with the Guardian. When you are finished, descend down into the vault for your next orders."
Nick, got a note here from your girlfriend. Apparently she's leaving notes all over the place.
Yeah, what you want now?
I'm gonna pass the note to Nick so he can read over it.
Okay. In the
Well-
meantime, I will award experience to you guys for that encounter.
Looks like we're going to the vault to meet my ex.
Nah, she ain't gonna be there. She's already gone.
Well, that was Harry. So, just so you guys, I don't know if you guys realize this, but if you guys hadn't brought Istrid, you would have lost 2 members of the party tonight.
I'm glad I made the decision and forced it on everyone to bring. Zeta would have had us dead. By the way, everyone meet Alistair. Hey, what spell did they use to bring us back?
That was Revivify.
But doesn't that not restore body parts though?
Well, you didn't lose body parts, you just became charred corpses.
Okay, fair enough.
I think he was exaggerating when he said you were a pile of ash.
Yeah, no, that was just for dramatic effect.
Siegfried blew off in the wind.
Dust in the wind. All Siegfried is dust in the wind. Copyright.
If he had hit me with 2 less hit points of damage with that fireball, I was getting ready to incinerate that bastard. But he got me.
He got to use his torch.
Siegfried pulled his weight in that fight.
All right, so what are you guys doing now?
Find some more asses to kick.
Exactly.
Zito is gonna go up to the skull, and he's gonna pull out his candle once more.
Okay.
Never mind. I know exactly what Zito's doing. I'm gonna sit my ass down and pay attention.
All right. Go for it.
Alright, once Zito lights his candle, he's gonna ask the skull what exactly happened to him.
You're asking Bryn?
Yes, I'm asking what happened that he has this purple creature in the back of his skull.
Looking at Bryn's corpse, it sort of rustles to life, and the familiar sound, albeit very sort of breathy, says, "Who are you?"
Says, "My name is Zito. Can you answer the question?"
What was your question?
What happened that this creature you got attached to your back, or the back of your skull?
I went down into sewers to find my friends, and I couldn't find them. And then I got ambushed. The last thing I remember was seeing this thing with like tentacles for a face. And then I saw nothing.
Do you remember anything after that happened?
I saw a haze. I remember something about key and lock. Over and over droning in my head, key and lock. And the treasure. The treasure. And something
Do you know
about... it's hard, it's fuzzy. The word breached.
Do you know how to get into the vault?
A vault. A vault is open.
Is that where they kept the white worm?
Worm. No. Below. A temple. A terrible presence.
And that was all 5 questions.
Okay. The voice of Bryn starts to fade. It says, "I'm sorry. Goodbye." And the corpse goes silent. Sound of the flames flickering within the chamber, now petering out. Yorn is now looking around and saying, "Well, I suppose you all want me to heal you, right? Is that correct?"
Well, I mean,
Sure.
since you offered, it would be kind of nice.
I didn't offer shit. I'm doing this for Brunhild. Brunhild,
Fine.
you owe me a lot of money. Matter of fact, I think as far as you and I are concerned, this is it. Don't ever come to me for help ever again. And one by one, she begins limping now, and you can tell she's a bit winded. She goes up to each one of you and heals every single one of you completely to full.
Boy,
And-
thank you. Thank you.
And she is now winded, looking at each one of you and saying, "I don't know what this worm thing is about, but you need to go take care of whatever it is. I need to get the fuck out of here. I'm no use to anyone right now." And you can tell she's clearly winded.
Didn't we need to do something about bagpipes and music?
Not if they've already opened the door.
So they like had their own dwarves and bagpipes and music. Like, That would have been interesting to see, you know, when she's just rubbing her head like, oh my god.
Siegfried waves his hand, and with one of his cantrips, there you go. He makes the sound of bagpipes playing.
If what I'm understanding is correct and that mind flare was controlling Bren's body, then I suppose they could have whatever they want.
I was thinking it was one of those little brain creatures that took control of him. That's what it looked like.
Yeah, one of those puppy dog brains.
Yeah, but
Bren.
those things are usually found with mind flares, and I have a feeling that guy we saw earlier is probably involved in this somehow. Or at least I'm hoping he is.
In any case, I think we need to try and find our way down there.
Is that what you guys would like to do?
Yep.
Lead the way.
That's what Zito would like to.
Okay.
Zito's gonna search the stage and see if there's any trap doors that would lead further down.
Okay. Each of you can either give him assistance on his investigation, or you can all roll investigations independent of each other to say that you're searching the whole entire theater. I saw somebody making a character. Now there's a character called Alaster in the party.
It's good to mind your business, Mr. DM. You're getting us something. His business.
Okay. So, if that's all of the investigation checks you guys want to do, after a while tossing this place, going through the sludge that used to be the goblins, looking around the theater, eventually you make your way back into one of the chambers behind, one of the changing rooms, and you find a trapdoor.
I rolled the highest, so I'm gonna yell, Zito, I think I found a thing. This is definitely a thing.
Zito will go back there and check it out.
Okay. Zito, you find a trapdoor, and immediately lifting the trapdoor, you see a row of a metal ladder leading down into darkness.
Alright, I think this is it, Samael. Good job.
Thanks. Well, I'm going down.
Let's wait for the others to get here first.
Yeah, no, Samael is just like going off on his own now.
Yeah, I'm already like 3 steps down. I'm like, oh, okay. Guys, we found it. Come on.
I'll follow.
Okay. One by one, you all head down into this changing room behind the stage, this area that is reserved, what used to be for the theater personnel. And you find this ladder that continues on downwards. And for what seems like forever, this ladder goes on for 50 feet until it terminates in a wide tunnel, about 20 feet wide, that just goes downwards. And as you continue on through the tunnel, arcing around, you find a staircase that continues on in a spiral.
Before Siegfried follows, he waits until everyone's gone down and he walks back to the main stage and he stomps on the remains of Bryn. Just his hair flying in front of his face as he huffs like, "You killed me." And then kicks a bit of it away before proceeding to follow the rest down the ladder.
Okay. I should also mention that before you went down, Jorn and Brunhild argued for about 20 minutes, and Brunhild managed to convince Jorn/Istrid to follow you all toward the vault. She's not happy, but she's there. Far below, traveling for what seems like ever, you all feel this intense vibration in your teeth, in your bones. This pulse. It leaves a sickening feeling in the pit of your stomach. Traveling down the wide spiral staircase. Eventually you find yourself, after traveling for quite some time, terminating at a large stone door. And the door is ajar. The remains of several insect-like creatures and cultists litter the ground as you head inside the chamber. And you see a grand foyer, crumbling crenellations within. The air has an acrid and almost metal taste to it.
Is there a hallway going deeper in, or is it just gonna a large?
Ahead of you, you see crumbling areas, these crenellations that go up to the vaulted ceiling, and you see on either side of you, upwards and straight ahead of you, you see several feet ahead of you on these areas that are blocked off with tapestries.
Zito will travel deeper inside, see if we
Okay.
can get a better view of the place.
There's 3 sets of columns that seem to be supporting a crumbling stone bridges above you. Seem to be about 60 feet up. And the ceiling rises another 20 feet above that, from what you can tell. And on either side, you can see in the alcoves these tapestries that are hanging somewhat sort of draped like a draperies. And you can see that there's sets of double doors on each side. And
Everyone looks like that there's doors on each side of these tapestries. Which one do you guys want to go down?
Follow the bodies.
The bodies were only situated mostly right near the entrance where the door is. Ahead of you, you see that there are a few towards the rear of the chamber, beyond the columns, over to the west.
Can I check for tracks?
Yep, you can go right ahead. For sure, you can see that there are tracks that seem to lead up towards the northwest to 2 sets of double doors.
Kind and number?
A lot. The number seems to be dozens, walking end over end of each other. And they're very strange. Some of them appear to be your normal, like, bipedal feet of possibly humanoid. And then other tracks seem really strange. They're of a type that you're not... seem familiar, almost seem like insect-like, possibly a large insect creature. Like the legs of a spider, possibly.
Okay, I'll point that direction out. There's several dozen. You get that, Zito? Can you hear me, Zito?
I can hear you now.
Yeah, there's several dozen, and they went in the northeast wall.
That's west, actually.
Sorry, northwest doorway.
I'm ready when you guys are.
Ready as I'll be.
Get anything area
Yeah.
effective would be good. Sam, you want to take the lead and open the door?
Very well. I will open the door and proceed inside. Shield raised, ready to go.
Okay. As you look through the 10-foot wide hallway beyond, not too far ahead to the south is a set of stairs 5 foot wide that curl up and around, seem to be leading upwards. And as you head up to... Are you continuing up the stairs?
Yes.
Okay. As you continue up the stairs, they bring you up several feet and bring you out into a long hall. And there's 3 pillars running the length of the hall that seem to be carved to resemble warhammers, with square heads pressed against the floor. Like the hammers are sitting on the ground like Thor's hammer. And there's a long fresco, a mosaic that's cracked along the western wall. And it appears to depict a dwarven smith at a forge. And it looks like he's crafting dwarves out of black metal and diamonds. And there are 3 5 foot wide bridges that are cracked and crumbling in places. The one in the middle is completely broken. Like there's about a 15-foot expanse between the edges of the bridge. The other ones are mostly formed, and they lead to 3 doors. And as you up on this upper level now, all of you feel this rumble, violent rumble. And you can hear this sound of a crunching, violent eruption somewhere within this vault.
Which way should we go?
To the vault.
I thought this was the vault. I think we should go over one of the bridges.
Who would like to do that?
I'll go.
Okay,
I can check the tracks.
go right ahead.
And Zito will carefully cross the bridge.
Okay, which bridge would you like to go across? There are 3. So there's one that is mostly formed that stretches across. There's a little section that's a little crumbled in places. There's one next to that one that is broken. There's a 15-foot section that's broken. And then the one beyond that one that is also mostly formed except for an area that is crumbling in a few places.
Zito will cross one that's only crumbling in a few places.
Okay, which one? The one northernmost or southernmost?
I'll go with the southernmost one.
Okay. As you get to the end, you manage to walk across with very little resistance. You can, as you're walking across the bridge, you can feel a vibration in your feet and chunks of the bridge falling now from some of the vibration. And there is a shining door at the end of this one. And the door has like a symbol of a dwarf.
It's a symbol of a dwarf, not a dwarven symbol.
No, it's an actual emblazing, like carved into this metal door, massive metal door. It looks like a dwarf. And the dwarf is standing at already attention with his weapon in front of him.
Zito will cast Detect Magic as a ritual.
Okay.
So, Sig, you think this is where we need to play the tune?
When the spell ends, do I hear detect any magic or?
Yes, there appears to be some sort of abjuration on this door. You're fairly certain that it appears to be guarded against entry with an abjuration spell.
Yeah, this door over here is warded.
You also detect that a very similar spell across that northernmost bridge, but you don't detect that on the door that is over the bridge that is broken in a 15-foot expanse.
Yes, both of these doors, except for the door that has access to the broken bridge, both of them are warded.
And what are the rest of the party doing while you're doing this?
Watching intently and waiting.
Yeah, watching.
Kind of hoping something jumps out that needs to be smashed.
Siegfried has taken out his Disma bomb and has it floating there.
Okay. What would you like to do, Zito? Do you share this information with the group?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
And is the door in the center open, or is that closed?
It appears to be open. From where you're standing, you can see, even with your dark vision, that this is open.
All right, then.
And just inside, you catch a faint sight of what looks like feet and like a clothed body.
Well, this might be where we need to play the bagpipes, guys. Zito will come back to the other side of the bridge.
Okay.
Well, there's 3 keys. Which one do we start with?
I think we should go to that one that I just crossed. We know that one's safe to cross.
I want to know where these dozens of people went to.
And
I
as
had
you
to guess they might have crossed the bridge and destroyed it.
as you say that, there is another violent vibration, and the entire chamber shakes. And some of the little bits and pieces of each one of the bridges are falling a little bit down 60 feet to the ground below. And there's another horrible vibration in all of your heads. You feel this sickening tang that tastes of blood in your mouth. And there's this vibration. And every single one of you hear, "Soon."
I think we need to get a move on.
Zito, we trust you. Which one do you want to go?
Let's try the bagpipes over the bridge that I just crossed.
All right. You all ready?
I'm ready.
Who's playing the bagpipes?
I will if nobody else volunteers.
I don't
Isn't
know
Jordan
how to
up?
play. Siegfried.
That's Siegfried and Astrid.
Yeah.
Astrid and Astrid says, "What are we doing?"
You're plating your bearded face.
Oh my gods. Did y'all really drag me down here to play that song?
Yeah.
Oh,
I did tell you that before, and that's why you went for your bagpipes.
I thought you were joking.
I wish I was, but apparently the locks change every decade or so, and they had a real sense of humor when they're making it. Like one of the other doors, all it needs is a fucking unicorn or the likeness of to open. Another one's just sunlight. It's really
So, where am I going? Where are we going?
going across the bridge and playing in front of the door.
The Istrid walks up the stairs, pulling out her bagpipes, looks across the southernmost bridge and sees the door with the dwarf on it, and says, "Can I play it from here, or do I need to go to the door?"
We can try from here. Let me record you playing on the doozy bob, and then I can play it back as many times as I need, and with you, hopefully that counts as 2.
Okay.
So
Istrid
I,
pulls out her bladder of air, her bagpipes, wets her lips, and gets ready to start blaring on this thing. And do you begin to record?
yes, I do.
There's this cacophony of sound echoing through this massive chamber, and you all hear the sound of this shrill wind device. And she yells out, "I miss your bearded face. I once saw it all over the place." That's it. That's the song. We dwarves aren't really that great at songwriting.
Hey, wait, so let me get this right. It's I once saw your beardy face. Now I see it all over the place.
Yeah, that's it.
Wow, that's really simple. Maybe I need to add to my repertoire. Anyways, it's not recording, so go ahead and do it one more time, and as soon as you start, I'll play it, and we'll see if it.
She plays the bagpipes once again and sings
And
the
I hit
song.
the resume.
And there is a sound of clicking and whirring and cogs turning. and the door with the dwarf emblazoned on it splits open and reveals a set of stairs heading downwards. And that is where we're going to end for today.